Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I will be playing Endzone A World Apart. The game is set to release on the 18th of March, so next month. I have not played the two recent updates, so I have not played the research equipment update or the collect and explore update. So this is going to be new for me, so let's just start playing. Start a new game. And so there is tutorial mode, survival mode, and scenarios. So the tutorial obviously is going to teach you how to play the game. Survival mode is you can configure your game according to your own needs without pursuing a global goal. And scenarios, you have different scenarios. They added a lot more scenarios. But we are going to do the tutorial today. So you have main tutorial, expeditions tutorial, water tutorial, food tutorial, radiation tutorial, confidence tutorial, barter trading system tutorial, and research. We are just going to start with the main tutorial.
I'm glad we prepared ourselves well for this kind of scenario, especially since our inventories in the Endzone ran low. Don't forget that if you need additional information, you can look at our survival guide at any time.
Thank you, Arthur. So let's get going. So it's asking us to open the survival guide. We're going to click on that. So that's basically just your handbook. It literally explains everything that has to do with the game. So using tasks, construction building, it'll talk about builders, workplaces, and entrances. So it basically covers literally everything in game.
Well done. Everything you need to know should be right here. I think the time has come for us to at last build ourselves a new home here.
Okay.
Before we can construct buildings at all, we have to assign the profession builder to several settlers so that they can take care of construction contracts. In general, it's your responsibility to decide which tasks are important and how our settlers are supposed to be distributed to attend to them.
Okay, so now it wants us to open the profession menu and assign 3 builders. So 1, 2, 3.
All right. Your builders will be ready as soon as construction contracts have been issued. It's time to start focusing on our key and most basic need, water.
Understood.
The first thing we ought to do is to establish a working water supply. So we'll move on to our first construction contract. Place and build a jetty by a lake in the vicinity of your town center.
Okay. So open the buildings and tasks menus and build a jetty. So the only body of water we have close enough to our town center is right here because we have one up there. But that'll be good for later on. Okay, so let's build. Can we build roads yet? I just want to make sure we cannot. Okay. So water. No, that sounded like the pigs. So to rotate objects, it's R. And I'm going to try and align it. There we go. So there's our jetty. Now our builders will go and build it. I'm just going to speed time up just a little bit. So for now, they are getting all of our resources that they need out of the camper van or the RV. And if you click on the RV and you go onto inventory, it will show you what we have.
Very good. The jetty was completed as planned. Now we have a place where we can collect water. There are other possibilities to gather water too, but the jetty is the simplest and most cost-effective method.
Okay.
We can obtain and store water from different sources, like a jetty, rain collector, or well in the cistern. The cistern should always be in close proximity to a water source so that our water carriers don't have to walk too far.
Okay, so build a cistern, assign settlers to the profession water carrier, and produce 100 water. Can we build roads yet? Nope. Okay, so I'm going to be putting this right. I'll put it on this side. Whoops. Go just like that. Okay, so they're gonna come over and build. Yeah, so right now our storage is in the RV. If you click on inventory, you can actually see everything that we have. So we do have radiation masks and water and metal tools. We do have beans, which would be food, scrap, and wood. Okay, so now we have to add settlers. So you can go and click on the professions tab, or you can click on the building itself and just add people from there. They want 3. We are actually going to put 5 so that we get water quickly. We'll see how many people we have left. So we still have 3 settlers.
Great. We have now installed a working water supply, and water is now transported from the jetty to our cistern. Consider hiring more water carriers if you don't have enough settlers available. You can never have enough water in storage. Now we should focus on food production. It's important to ensure the supply right from the start. A gatherer's cabin, a hunting lodge, or a fishing hut can directly remedy the situation. I suggest starting with a fishing hut, since we're already located near a lake.
Okay, so we will do that. Build a fishing hut. Oops. I don't want to build that right there, so let's go down here. There we go. That's better. Kind of want to align it at the town center. There we go. Okay, so we are probably going to start running out of wood and scrap. We are going to have to start building homes because now we have 15 homeless settlers. So these guys are building a fishing hut, and we will add 2 people to fish. And we need to produce 50 food. Okay. So
Good work. We've now taken care of our basic supply via food and water. Make sure that you have enough food and water on hand at all times, especially if you want to upgrade your settlement. A population that grows too fast can quickly unbalance your food and water supply, bringing major difficulties for you if you don't watch out.
Okay, so we got 300 food. 300 food for completing that task.
Crops are another excellent way of getting food, because they constantly grow as long as the soil is moist enough. Each seed has different yields and growing times. This means that it could take some time until your field is ready to be harvested, in contrast to your fishing hut, where production can be right away.
All right, so we need cultivated fields and a farmer. Okay, can we start building houses yet? We can't. All right, so let's build a field. I'm going to build my fields this way, I think. So right here, and we'll do that's 10. Let's do 10 by 10. We'll do 10 by 10 for now. Okay, and we need one farmer. And we need to pick the seed we want to grow. Okay, so choose seed. We have black salsify or cabbage. Cabbage. So cabbage takes 1.9 seasons and it gives 400 food, whereas the black salsify takes 2.8 seasons and gives 500 food. So we'll go with the cabbage. And open the view for environmental irrigation. Okay.
Looks good. Remember that we need the widest variety of food sources to stay healthy. You should also plan ahead for drought periods that might come when it's not going to rain. Stock up on food and adapt your production to avoid bottlenecks. I'll show you a few more strategies later on. At the beginning, we don't have much scrap wood or other resources. We could build a production building, but to obtain resources as fast as possible, it's best that we start gathering right away. Assign a Gather All Resources task. All the settlers who haven't been assigned any profession by you are going to accept these kinds of tasks. In addition, settlers distribute resources within your settlement.
Okay, so place gather wood, place gather scrap, and free settler available. So we have that done. Tasks, we are going to go... Oh, we don't have a gather all. Okay. Or yeah, we do, but we can't use it. Can we? Oh, no. All right, then. Okay, so I want to get rid of all the wood here because I will be building houses. And I will do the same with the scrap. I'll move it. So we can't get the big piles of scrap. So we'll empty this area as well. So the settlers automatically... So this right now, this overlay, I'm still in the water overlay. So basically it's showing us like the wet ground, the dry ground, and the dried out ground. So red is dried out, orange is dry, green is moist, and the blue is wet. So we'll leave that so we can see the normal game. And we are running low on water.
We can start to build a real production building. Then you don't have to always make efforts by hand that collecting is taking place. Production buildings are not only easier to manage, they are also distinctly more effective than simple tasks. Don't place production buildings too far away from your settlement. You'll be able to change their working area at any time later on.
Got it.
Right on. The best thing for us to do now is to build a forester's lodge to automate our supply of wood and make it more effective at the same time. Foresters are not only able to chop down trees, they reforest areas with trees as well.
Okay, so we want to build a forester's lodge. We don't have roads yet. Okay. Resources, a forester's lodge. So we don't necessarily want to have, if I go on this, as you can see at the bottom, it says location attractiveness. So this will take away 2 beauty points if it is placed near a residential area. So I'm going to try and see where I want to place it, where I plan on putting my houses. So I think we'll do this area here for industrial. So I will put this right here. We'll flip it and we'll put it right there. Now, as you can see, we do have do have 3 builders, but this one only requires 2. And you can see them, they just finished clearing the building area. Now they need to collect the wood and the scrap. Missing 5 pieces of scrap to be able to complete construction. Okay, and they're building it. And it's done. Okay, now we have to sign 1 person.
Good job. You might want to change this building's working area later on to tell your workers where they should get their wood from. Ah, and for your information, if you want, you can also tell your Forester's Lodge that they only ought to attend to reforesting an area in order to create a lush, green forest which generations to come can use.
Okay, so...
Very good. Now we ought to take care of collecting scrap. Scrap is one of the most valuable resources because the quantities present are limited, and we can recover other resources from scrap. Unlike the task we just had, the scrap yard allows larger quantities of existing scrap to be dismantled than with ruins or wrecks.
Okay, so now we have to build a scrapyard. Right, this is going to go down here. There's a lot of scrap here. You can eventually change the work area. So we're gonna put that there for now. Just like if, let's see here. I'll show you with the Forester's Lodge, if I can click on it. Change a field of work. So I don't want them to reforest in here because this is where our town is gonna be. So I'm just going to move it a bit down this way. So they will cut down and reforest trees. You do, like the tutorial said, you do have the option to just cut down trees or just reforest. I want to do both. Okay, we still need to build houses. Hopefully that's coming soon. Okay, we'll see how many people we have. So we have 3 free settlers. And we need scrap collector. Okay, so we will add 1 person to collect scrap. Collect scrap. That's done. I think we will change the field of work for this as well to maximize how much scrap we can collect. I do want to get rid of the scrap here so that we can build houses. So we will go and do this. So in this field of work, we have 1,205 pieces of scrap that we can collect. Okay, so I will get rid of these because we don't need them. So demolish and demolish. We already have people collecting wood and people collecting scrap. I am actually going to assign 1 more person to this so it goes a little faster. And oncoming drought. So down here we have the seasons, the calendars.
You can change the working area for the scrapyard too. We can recycle scrap into 4 additional resources: cloth, metal, plastic, and electronics. We'll do that shortly, but for now we ought to take care of your settlers' needs first.
Got it.
Our people want a place to sleep and live. Cabins fulfill their need for safety and privacy and increase the confidence of their inhabitants. In other words, building cabins increases their willingness to start families and reproduce, if you know what I mean.
And we do. Okay, so we have to build 8 cabins. Okay, can't build roads yet? Nope. All right. So 8 cabins. I'm going to build them along here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, I think I will leave that much room in between. Oops. So there's 4. I'm just gonna wait for them to be built. We'll speed up time just a bit. There's some boars, or, yep. Okay, so as you can see, people are moving into the houses, or the cabins. As you can see, our farmer is planting crops.
Besides cabins, you can also provide sturdy houses and shelters as housing. Sturdy houses withstand sandstorms better and have an increased storage capacity to boot. Children living in houses gradually fill up the house's stockpiles. Settlers do not reproduce in a shelter because they lack privacy.
Okay.
Let's return from our excursion into housing and refocus on scrap. With the help of a recycler or refinery, scrap can be sorted into 4 different resources. A recycler always takes scrap apart, one resource at a time, while a refinery automatically produces all 4 resources. To start off, you should build a recycler and produce cloth.
Okay, so we are going to build that obviously near our scrapyard, which is already full, so it's a good thing. So it is full. You can up the limit. So we are going to up the limit of scrap because we want our people to keep collecting it. So I'm going to up that to 1,000. Same with the wood. We'll up that to 1,000. Okay. So we're going to build a recycler. Like he said, these buildings only recycle one thing at a time. So I will build 2 to start. I'll build these down here. Yeah. So 1, 2. Oops, gonna slow down time a bit, seeing as how our house has got built. Okay, so our storage area here is full, as you can see. Is running low. Yeah, that's because I upped the wood and the scrap. And we have a lot of food. That's good. How many extra settlers do I have? I have 1. Okay, we'll take 1 builder off. That'll give me 2. Now the buildings do have a prioritize. I can click on it. It's not letting me click on it. We'll click on this one. It does have a build next. So if you were to be building, let's say you were to have 10 building projects on the go at the same time, but you absolutely wanted a house built before anything else because you had more babies and now there's homeless, you can click on the build next and they will move on to that building first before doing the way in which you place the buildings down. So we're just gonna speed up time real quick so they can get that built. Okay, so there's one built, and they're building the second one. Gonna slow down time, and we are going to assign 2 settlers. So they will automatically go into each building because I do have 2 recyclers. They will go into available jobs. So that's on cloth, and that's on cloth as well. Here, I'll turn it around so we can see what the buildings look like. Okay, so we are running out of room to store our stuff. Okay, our water is full. Can we upgrade that yet? No, we cannot. Okay. Okay, so we're making 2 cloth, and we're making 2 cloth.
You can instruct your recycler to produce a different resource at a time. It's important that you focus on the resources you really need, at least in the beginning. Cloth and metal look like good options if you want to equip us with protective clothing and tools. Happy settlers are industrious settlers. That's why we ought to look after our people and protect them against the surroundings and dangers, like radiation. So let's start by transforming our newly recovered cloth into protective clothing. A tailor will be able to help us with that.
Okay, so now he wants us to build a tailor. Okay, so we will put this close enough to the recyclers, just so our tailor doesn't have to walk too far. I'm gonna put that right about, so I'm gonna leave, yeah, put it on this side, so we leave the space around the water free. So we'll put that right there. Just gonna speed up time so that gets built faster. Okay, so they're building it, so you can choose right away. You can cycle through what you want them to make. So we're just gonna go with next scarf to start, and I am going to switch one of my cloths to metal. Okay. Now, do I have any extra settlers? I do not. So we are going to have to, I'm gonna slow down time. We are going to have to take someone off of something and put it there. So we have a lot of food. I'm gonna take away a fisherman and put it as a tailor. Okay, so they are now going to start supplying us with next cars, which is only a low-level radiation protection. It only has low-level protection. Okay, this is flashing. Click to display terrestrial radiation. Okay, so it's the same as with the water overlay. You have none, low, medium, and high. So right now we don't have any. Radiation. Oh, we have a little bit there and there. Sometimes it will rain, and it will rain very radiated water, so everything is full of radiation.
We categorize environmental radiation into 4 levels. No radiation, low level, medium level, and high level radiation. The radiation changes constantly and is influenced by weather and contaminated rain. Protective clothing helps to protect us against this kind of radiation, but it takes a while before it's produced. And production relies on a steady flow of incoming resources. Try to establish production chains at an early stage and start to stockpile goods so that some are always on hand. The tools we brought along from the Endzone are slowly but surely running out. So now, let's focus on manufacturing new tools. The tools will help us to work effectively. We'll need metal for that, so we'll prepare for production by building another recycler, which we'll commission to recover metal from scrap. After that, we'll need a workshop to enable the manufacturing of brand new tools.
Okay, so I already built the second recycler, and we already started collecting metal, and yeah, so now we're just left with building a workshop. I will put that right beside the tailor. Just there. We'll speed up time just so he can get them built. Okay, so our scrap storage in the scrapyard is full. And we are going to need to build another house. Because our population is growing, so we are up 20 adults. This is fun. It shows you, like if you look under children, it shows you. So we just got a child grew into an adult. So the colored bars, so like Albert and Catherine are going to be our next adults. Okay, so they built that. Now let's go and take care of the housing issue. We're going to slow down time real quick. Okay, I want to put another field there. So I think what I'm going to do is, okay, this needs to be taken out. Okay, we're just going to add 2 more houses up this way. Now, if you see that your people are producing too many children, you could go, I guess it's not unlocked yet, but you could go and build a shelter. It houses 25 people, and they won't reproduce in there. Because sometimes if you build house upon house upon house upon house, well, then you're going to end up with a lot of kids, and that takes a lot of food and a lot of water. You don't want to grow your population too fast. Hey, do we have any extra settlers? Oh, wow, we have 6. Okay, so let's assign 2 people to making tools, and we'll assign 2 people to the tailor. Okay. So now we just have to wait so they can make metal tools. Okay, so we want to, whoops, trees are in my way. There we go. So we want to make metal tools and not scrap tools, because metal tools do last longer. Take more resources, but they do last longer. The durability is way better. Okay, so now we just have to make 2 metal tools. What is this telling me? Notifications. Storage capacity is running out. Yes, I know. We have a lot of food and a lot of scrap. Yeah, we're running low on tools. So we've made none yet. Okay, we're about to make 2 metal tools, I think. Let's see what we have in storage in here. Okay, so they are putting resources into the storage in the workshop. Okay, and they're making 2 metal tools. As this, you can see here efficiency. So daytime working hours is 100% and nighttime is 50 because we don't have any power yet. If we were to have power, I'm pretty sure the daytime would be up to 150 and the nighttime would be up to 100. It's kind of hard to work in the dark, so.
With our
Here we go.
lovely new tools, we are now prepared to work effectively. Should you ever run out of metal, keep in mind that you can also instruct your workshop to manufacture tools from scrap instead of metal. Though they won't be quite as effective, it's still better than being forced to work with bare hands.
Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for this video. When we come back, we will continue doing the tutorial. So if you like the video, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.